Hello and welcome to another stream, another weekly update, and we're getting closer and closer to Steam Next Fest. And I want to tell you about a lot of things. Well, mainly what I've been working on this week and what's the plan to get to make a demo for Next Fest. So first, let me get the music with a level that doesn't go over my voice. I think that's fine, right? Like at this level, what do you guys think? And first of all, let me say hi to you guys that have joined. So yeah, Born is here. What's up, Born? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Also, Osnog, I noticed you were here and you are here. So welcome. How are you? And Godfather, of course, is also here. So what's up, Godfather? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. So yeah, let me show you what I've been working on this week. We're gonna start with a lot of things that I've done in Blender. What's up, Godfather? A lot of things that I've done in Blender because I have done some assets that I'm using for lighting. Because I needed to introduce some way of having lights in the environment, so when night comes in the game, we can have illumination, and it has to make sense that the illumination like fits the world, you know. And Nick is over here, says I made it. What's up, Nick? Welcome to the stream. How are you? Yeah, right on time. Yeah, just at the beginning. So yeah, let me show you what I've done in Blender, and you're gonna see that things in Blender look very differently from what they look in game, and in game they look better. So give me a sec. Yeah, here we are. Here we're in Blender. This is an asset that I haven't completed yet, but it's basically a barrel, and I know it doesn't look like a barrel at all, and that's because I'm in texture painting mode, but here it is. Here's the model. I just haven't textured it yet. I was in the middle of doing that when the time came for streaming. So yeah, I'm just going to show it because I just like started the texturing process. But I do have 3 more things done in terms of assets. So cycling around town right now. I don't know how you do it. Like cycling with a video on. I guess yeah, you're not like watching on the video because you would fall, or at least I hope so. Okay, let's start with the most interesting one, I would say, which is the fireplace. So we have the fireplace base, and these are made out of different pieces because basically I have to make things that are modular enough that I can expand them if I wanted to. And yeah, as I said, you will see that some of these things don't look that good over here. Like, yeah, it's probably not looking that good over here. But you'll see that in game, they look way better because when you texture paint stuff over here, what happens is that some things basically like get blurred because these small textures, these are textures that are 128 by 128, so they are getting blurred. And when you get an image that is that has a higher resolution, you don't really notice, but here it's pretty evident that things are kind of blurred. Godfather say Nikki Freaky. Is that a reference to Obsession, to the movie Obsession? That if it is a reference, that movie is super cool. I really enjoyed it. I watched it with my family like I think 2 weekends ago. And You Can Say So is over here. What's up? Welcome to the stream. You Can Say So. Need you say one-handed is a necessity. Voice to text is cool. Oh, you're doing voice to text. Awesome. Alrighty. So yeah, here we have it. Is looking meh over here, but you'll see when I actually get to like show you in the game because it's already implemented with particles and stuff. Like you're gonna see. So yeah, first we have a fireplace. We're gonna go with an oil lamp, which I was looking for how could I do, or how did people in medieval times used to like light things up, because it's pretty common in games or media in general to portray medieval times like there were torches everywhere. And if you think about it, torches are used like the light that they produce, like the fire goes off pretty quickly because it gets consumed pretty quickly. So yeah, what people really use were like oil lamps that burn slower, so they could have more reliable sources of both heat and light, but more than anything, light, you know? So I did this one, and yeah, you can see like things are blurred and stuff, but you'll see in game that they look very different and actually way better in my opinion. Okay, so the last one that I have completed is the fire basket, which is another thing that is made for illumination. All of these things are made for illumination because I was playing with like illuminating this element before anything else. And yeah, here it is. It doesn't look as good in here because it's super blurred. But yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight ahead to Unity, and I'll show you not only how they look in game, how these things look in game, but also the other changes that I've done during this week, so you can have a sense of what I've been working on. And voice to text, what is that? I guess he's using an application of some sort to basically turn his voice, like, yeah, his voice audio into text, and that's it. Alrighty, so let's go to Unity. Here we are. I'm not sure how different it is from the last time you saw it, but I don't know if you can tell. Well, I'm not going to I'm not going to look at those things yet. I first want to show you the fireplace. Let's go with the fireplace first, because I think it's the better looking one. And here is how it looks in game. You can see that the blurring is not visible here because it is not blurred. Cool trick, if you're working with pixel art or anything that's low resolution, you don't want it to be blurred in any way. So you go here and let's see. You go here into, let's go to a texture. Let's go to this texture, for example. You can see that it says here, the filter mode is set normally to bilinear. So that's some sort of blurring. If you say point, no filter, you're gonna get it to show like pixel perfect, you know? And you don't really want this for super detailed textures, but you will want this for lower res things. Okay, yeah, so I also did some particles for them, the fire and stuff, and it also has a light source that is affecting the environment and also, well, you know? So yeah, that's it. Let's go to one of these, which are the oil lamps that I showed you. And here you see that it looks way better. Because basically what makes these things look worse is, yeah, just the blurring and not having the materials applied like they have now. And I don't know if you notice, it is pretty subtle, I would say. But I have also made withering full screen effect. You can see, for example, in the shadows, you can see that there are some like points. Yeah, that's a shader I did too this week, which I think that it adds to the pixelated look. We have the pixelation and the dithering on top, and you can see exactly what the dithering looks like in here. You can see the sky. The sky looks very similar to what it used to look like, but now you can see that the transitions have that dithering too. So they kind of like go when there's more like information or variation, it has more pixels. And when there is less, where there's less variation, there are less like kind of those squares. Yeah, so dithering is let me get you an image of what dithering looks like. Bayer dithering, that's the algorithm I'm using. Bayer dithering pattern. This is what dithering is. Why can I? Okay, here it is. There are different kinds of dithering. The one that I'm using is called Bayer dithering. These are more extreme examples, you know. I wanted to go with something more subtle. But yeah, this is dithering basically. Now let me get my OBS over here. Oh, it's built into the... Oh, you're using the keyboard one. I thought you were using like an external app or something. Yeah, the floorboards don't look correct. I know. I will change that. But yeah, I was just trying to like just do the first set, or yeah, just setting the things. If they look a little bit funky, it's fine. I said in my head, like, maybe since this is not a perfect settlement and it's kind of some time has passed since it has been maintained, maybe if I make the things rotated, it will look like it's a little bit I don't know, not perfectly maintained. But I think I think I could do that with textures alone and not having to do the rotations of the tiles themselves. And Born, you say, yeah, it's pretty good. I still think some areas are fine, but the light areas look too bright, looks unbalanced. The light areas, what do you say about the light areas? Like here? Oh, and by the way, I was just trying to see how things would look like without light, and I would have to change, and I plan to change them, the skybox, its colors and stuff, and the light that it emits is going to change with the time of the day, and it looks a little bit weird because this is the way it's meant to be, with some sort of light active, and yeah, because basically if I have so much environment like coming from the skybox, and the skybox is made at daytime, it's going to look a little bit weird. But yeah, just take into consideration when nighttime comes, I'm going to make a separate skybox, or rather than making a separate skybox, I will change the color of the skybox itself, so it will look a little bit like more like it's like everything is sharing the same color palette, and it makes sense, you know. Need to say, yeah, tile rotated because of the rats. And I need to update my Atlas YouTube. The chat just stopped working. What a shame. Atlas YouTube. Is that an app you're making, or what? Yeah, I don't really get it. Yeah. So let me get the intensity to 0.01, and I'm not sure if I have a skybox. I think I made another skybox. Oh yeah, I do have another skybox over here, and this is not how I will have this looking. I was just experimenting with other colors and how it could look during nighttime. But this is not final, you know? Like, this is just an idea, and I was experimenting a little bit. But yeah. And also, there are other things that I would have to show. For example, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the light or the environment light is not coming specifically from the skybox material itself. Is coming from a gradient that I set up, and I have to change that gradient if I want it to look like super, like the skybox is emitting light on it. And the reason I'm using a gradient instead of a material is because I want to make it dynamic. So I will be changing it during the day and night, you know? Okay, let's look at the last light source. So this is the fire basket. I think that's, it has like multiple names, this thing. It's called Cresset, fire basket, and other names I don't remember. But it's basically a pole with something called pitch, which is like made out of wood resin, and it lights or it burns for a long time. So yeah, they used to use stuff like this in medieval times, and I do like the textures. And I haven't shown you this, but for example, the fireplaces, they have to go somewhere, you know, and that's why I made these things into different pieces, so I can make them as tall or short as I want them to, and that allows me to do things like this. Let me show you. So let me get over here, and yeah, you can see that at the top, it is basically the same particles that are on the bottom are coming to the top, and you can see them like exit the end of the fireplace. Godfather, you say, Roman, what's your one wish? That every game that any game that I release or have a participation on is a massive success. Yeah. I think that would be my one wish. I think I probably should think, if I really had the opportunity to make one wish, I would probably have to think it more. But that sounds like a good wish. Born, you say the objects kind of look plain in the shadows, although I would say it's good. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So I was thinking of these are basically like just there's no geometry. So there are two things that I like to try, and there's one that I will do for sure. For example, over here, you see all of these like parts that are made out of wood. These are like just a texture. But what I would like to do in the future is I'm going to rebuild these pieces into like modular pieces, and each one of these will have like actual geometry. So it's not going to just be a texture. It is going to have like depth in that wooden part. It will have depth. So it's gonna get light into it, shine it differently because there's actual geometry. And the other thing that I'm also keen on experimenting with is UV mapping. So that one will allow me to not just have to have geometry, but combined with the new geometry, like have light sources basically interact with these UV map textures a little bit differently, so they reflect light or they interact with light a little bit different. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. How do unlit textures look? Well, these ones are lit. It's just that they are just plain. So I think that is what makes you perceive them as they were like not lit, because in real life there's almost no thing that is perfectly plain, you know. So I would have to either make some detail, some variation, which I will do, and play with UV mapping so the light bounces differently on those textures. And you say when video, video when I have a demo, I think, and I will have a. I think I will be able to do a demo for Next Fest. I was thinking about, even though I have time, like there's still like a month and a half left. It is so much work to to like figure out the whole visuals of the game and also like make a test environment. So I think I wanted to have like all of the systems of the game, but if I have a demo for Next Fest, it's going to be reduced. So the only thing that's going to be on the demo is going to be basically one settlement and the settlement liberation loop. So fighting the enemies and liberating the settlement, but that's about it. Like getting the players that try the demo to just try the combat out and experiment with it. So it's not just about the visuals of the assets and building the world, but also the UI. So the things that they can interact with in the demo need to be finished. Not finished in the sense that they are not going to change anymore, but they need to be like 80% there. Maybe there will be some variation in like later on in the development, but they need to be mostly there. I think the textures are very good, but the shadows make the whole piece look a little plain. Yeah, so the shadows are, yeah, these ones, right? And I did change them, how shadows are for everything basically, because the last week they looked even plainer. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I had lighting ramps that were like clumping shadows into ranges, and that looked like a lot of like it looked like 2D. Oh, settlements are like, think of settlements as villages or constructions where enemies are living, and you have to like defeat those enemies, like liberate that area from enemies. And once you liberate that area, then settlers are going to be able to move into the settlement you liberated. So yeah, NPCs will start populating that liberated settlement, you know? And Godfather, you say you have to make those lamps. Oh yeah, those ones. Point lights shaking and blinking. I was thinking of having those things, like not exactly the ones from the emoji, but having chandeliers and stuff. But I thought that's gonna take a lot of time, and I would have to. I want to have everything that's in the game like feel like you can interact with it. Like for example, if you were to have a chandelier and you, I don't know, throw something at it, like a spell at it, it needs to interact and kind of like move. And how is this movement called? Like doing a, yeah, like basically if it's on a rope, kind of if it's on a rope, it's gonna swing, you know. And I don't want to be working on that because I have so many other things to work on. I think I could do those things when polished faces come. But for now, I think no. So no video until redacted, yeah. Yeah, probably not soon. Probably not soon. And at least shorts. I know shorts will start. I will start releasing shorts again once I have the demo for Next Fest. Or once Next Fest passes, I will start making shorts again. But like a proper video, probably gonna be a lot longer. Probably gonna be when I have all of these things finished, which are well, this is just B.0, like beta 3.0. And it's taking a lot of time. I think probably I will be spending 2 more weeks just to get beta 3.0, and then beta 3.1 it's gonna be like 2 more weeks, and then the demo. So it's gonna be at least a month and a half, and then I will have to, let's say that the other ones take each one 2 weeks. So that's gonna be at least a month and a half plus a month and a half, at least 3 months before I even start thinking about making another like long form video. And BSM is over here, says what's up. BSM, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Okay, so yeah, that's what I've done for now. I still have to do a lot of decorations. I will probably, I don't know if you can tell, but I was thinking the art style of this character doesn't look exactly like the same kind of resolution as the other things, or it's not like the same texture type, because you can see in this guy it is not as detailed and it looks better in some way. I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically, I think this one's like the ground is too pixelated maybe in comparison to the player. I don't really know. I have to figure that out. Yeah, so that's it for now. I have also like did a lot of things to make this work. For example, I figured out how to do like these light sources. These light sources. For example, I just made the texture be super slow or super low in resolution, so everyone can run this. It's something very important for me that everyone, like almost everyone, can run this game, because it should be like that, you know. At least for this art style, like that's what I want to have happen, and that's what I have, why I have chosen this art style, and why I most of the time I just make games that are low poly, so everyone can run it, because I know what it is to not be able to run games that look cool, and you can't play them just because they are not optimized, or they are just hyper realistic and you can't run that on your computer. Oh yeah, talking about optimization, you remember that the I think last week this thing was lagged as fuck. Like I could barely run it over here, and now it's not the case. I can really run it no problem, even in editor, and that's because basically, let's pause this. Let's go to the map, and I have made another tool which is called Mesh Combiner, and basically what this tool does is it's finding in the object, or my map, every single object, and if they are carrying the same texture, I can join them together. Like basically they become one mesh. So take a look at this difference. If I select this, you can see that every single one of these pieces are just one mesh, not different meshes. So that saves a lot on batching, and batching is very good for performance, because you have to only do one draw call per batch, so not multiple of them. And let me show you what it used to look like. Let's disable these ones, and let's enable these ones. You notice it looks exactly the same, but this one runs very poorly. And it's exactly the same map, exactly the same everything. So yeah, I also spent some time just making some optimization so everything is joined, and you don't have to like do multiple renders for basically the same quad. stuff. Oh yeah, I haven't shown you this. Here it is. Yes, let me say I got some more concepts for the Moss boss. It's gonna be a long time before I start doing bosses. And Born, you say low poly? Yeah, 4K graphics, photorealistic lighting, terrible topology, etc. If you can't run it, womp womp. Yeah, that's a lot of the industry right now, especially AAA. They don't really care about optimization at all. Well, not all AAA. It's just there are some AAA studios that don't really care about the performance. Specifically, EA, for example, it has very unoptimized games, but there are good developers in AAA that do things right. For example, I don't know which one is the studio, but the developers of Doom Eternal did an incredible job of optimization. And yeah, for example, Red Dead Redemption 2, even though it looks like super realistic and you still need an incredible computer to run it at maximum quality, they still optimize a lot. Even though it is so heavy as a base, you know, but they did their optimization work. Doom is big. Yeah, it's an amazing game. If you haven't tried Doom Eternal, I wasn't really a big fan of Doom, but Doom Eternal is super good. And Born, you say, that's what I want to do, lol. I like high quality. Unfortunately, I cannot optimize for the life of me. But oh well. Well, you're still learning and everyone is still learning. So it's never too late to learn about optimization. Like how things are rendered, how you can save by static batching, for example. How does your engine help you optimize certain things? How can you bake lighting, for example? And one thing that was important for me in here is that I am just using dynamic lighting for the point lights, but for everything else, I have baked lighting, you know? So yeah. And more than just learning about optimization, when you get to a project, like, try to think about the ways you're optimizing that project specifically, and you're going to learn a lot of the techniques to do the optimization. It's not like you're gonna follow, or well, you could do it, like follow a course on how to optimize things, but it's rather like when you're in a project, try to find the ways to optimize stuff, and your knowledge is going to grow and grow and grow. And the next project that you do, you're gonna have more knowledge, and that's gonna allow you to gather more knowledge and apply more to your current project. Well, let me go to the other environment, because this one's pretty laggy. So what else have I done? What else have I done? I think I did some things over here. No, it's just illumination. Yeah, I just placed these things over here. For example, in the entrance, I placed two. And I think, well, I think I probably will be not be able to, but you will be able to in the settings to change how much resolution do you want your shadows to have. Because I don't really mind having these pixelated shadows, but the game does look better with higher resolution shadows. And if you want to do that, and you have the capacity to run them, I want you to be able to like just change it in settings, you know. But for now, just for the default builds and stuff, I will try to find a balance of quality so it is fine for most people. Let me switch this. And Born, you say, I have no knowledge yet. I am making a programming language. Guys, like, not your alley. Well, it's not your alley. Well, optimizing is if you're doing anything related to programming, you are going to have to optimize. But in graphics, things are different. It's just different kinds of optimization, but it's still like super useful to start thinking about optimization and how to structure stuff to be optimal or be optimally run. Born, you say, I have also been slacking on my code due to Geometry Dash. It's still fun. Nothing to do about that. And I hate it, but it's so good. But hard. You get it. Yeah, I get it. Well, if you have free time now, I think you're in your holidays, right? So one thing you could do is just in the morning, just work on your stuff that's important to you. Like, I don't know, block 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, and those are going to be your work hours. And well, if you consider it work, you can count it however you want. You're gonna be working on your project, and then the rest of the day you can you can play with no guilt. You know, so you have done your what you had to do during the morning. You feel satisfied and whatever, and then the rest of the day you can still like do a little bit of work if you want to, but you're free to do all of the other stuff because you have already done the work that you wanted to do. I don't know, you can try that. And Godfather, you say, Roman, is it possible to add more avatars? I think it is. It's just a lot of setup and like finding the assets. And I have seen the Stream Avatars has a community in Steam, like a workshop, and you can get avatars there. But I don't really like the ones that are there. I prefer the default ones. Those are the best ones, to be honest. Yeah, but it is possible. I would just have to like hand draw a lot of things, and I'm not going to do that, to be honest. Dude, I saw the clip that Mijo recorded of you. I don't know what was that, but it was like some sort of aircraft that you descended from and like just touched the ground or something. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it here. I think I've shown you everything that I've worked on this week. Yeah, mostly everything, if not everything. So I'm leaving it here. And thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Before we go, yeah, we could do a battle royale. We're 4, but yeah, we could do a battle royale. Let's see. And Nick, you said, yeah, that was Mijo's balloon beacon thing that recently burned down. What happened to it? Like, how did it get burned? Born to say, Roman, is nuclear engineering cooler than chemical engineering? I don't know. I haven't been into any of those, so I wouldn't know. But I would say, well, chemical engineering could be super cool. But I think nuclear engineering and chemical engineering, although I could be wrong, they are related. Is it also a no on add thermo-aligned currents? It is gonna be a no. Godfather, you say, Roman, play game like Minecraft. I have not had any time to play anything, to be honest. I played, well, I played Schedule 1 with my brother. And I have played Bomb Banana. The demo of Bomb Banana. Godfather 1. Awesome. Yeah, so I'm leaving it here. Thank you guys for joining. Let me change the camera. Thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you next week with more things. Hopefully I will have moved on from the settlement. Who knows? But yeah, hopefully I will have moved on from the settlement, and I will show you more exciting stuff then. Bye-bye. Take care and enjoy the weekend. Bye, Nick. Bye, Born. Bye, Godfather.